It is Saturday, 11/8/2025. Level up, get your game day on. You know how they say get your freak on and all whatever else. Get your game day on, get your freak on. We're not live in the building. We pre-recorded this show on Friday, but we know y'all are watching us live on Saturday. Good to be back in the building with the ladies. I had a great discussion with the fellas on Monday. It was a trip, y'all. And I told them, I said, y'all gonna have to step y'all game up because the ladies ain't playing. So moving forward, y'all better come with some noise or I'm kicking you out the car. I don't give a damn. And I let them flat out know what time it was, man. So glad to be back in the building with my co-host Theresa-B and my girl Theresa-B. Y'all, what's cracking-lacking before we even get started on the Get Your Game Day On college football preview show today? Teresa, I'll start with you. What's going on, girl? What's happening?
Nothing much. I'll be traveling tomorrow, and I just feel like these games this week is like a snoozer games, but I'm still gonna be watching. But I'm excited about college football anyway, so I'll be ready to watch the games.
I feel you. Mm-hmm. Sarah, what's cracking, girl? What's going on with you?
Yeah, not too much this weekend. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to watch some of the games this weekend. I wasn't really able to do that last week. I'm going to miss a couple of them. But, I'm here. I'm ready. And yeah, it's a little bit of a snooze fest.
Yeah, one of these days, we're going to get backstage content and show snippets and cut-ups from backstage because some of the conversations that we have is unbelievable. Even with the ladies, the conversation is unbelievable. So, Sarah, I'm telling you, this YouTube, and we're going to get into it one of these times, whole YouTube fiasco, and I tried to tell Mom was like, yeah, it'll be back on by Tuesday. I said, yeah, right. Well, it's T minus, about 9 hours and 10 hours and counting, and ain't going to be no games on. And everybody and their mama going to be mad from ESPN because for you guys that don't know, and I hate to break your heart today, if you have YouTube TV as your provider, concerning SEC and ABC games, it ain't happening. It didn't happen last week. It ain't happening this week. It ain't happening. There's some serious contract negotiations. But Sarah, I hope you might have to just go to the sports bar. You might have to do something. Because
that's why I keep my spectrum.
I feel you. It's big trouble in China, boy.
What if I go to the bars?
It's gonna be. I get that too. I get it. Hey, and I promise you, man, I think that's the part that I missed about college football so much that if I didn't go to the actual game itself, the venue of like, I don't do the sports bar thing anymore. But I mean, so many people do it, man. And like, I sort of miss that about going to the sports bars and sitting amongst the people and hearing the rah-rah. But, I don't miss the diabolical part of it, y'all. So, I'm an old guy. I just want to sit.
I agree because I got hackled about 2 years ago when Notre Dame played Ohio State. And so, that one game where we were losing the whole game and then we scored at the end. So this game was like, it was to a point where he was calculating me so bad because, I had Ohio State stuff that people was looking at him like, dang. And then when it was over, I was like, oh, you ain't got nothing to say? You ain't got nothing to say?
Yeah, Tony, be quiet. How about that one? Be quiet. How about that one? So, Sarah, I help you. I mean, but you might want to get in the mix, Sarah. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see. I'll figure something out. I always do.
Facts. Absolutely. All right, y'all. So we got 7 games. Well, normally we have 8. It's the Big Pick 5, and we got 2 sidebar games that we're going to talk about today, right? The reason why we do the game day show is because we get an opportunity to get more breakdown and more detail concerning our actual picks. Oh, and by the way, B Dirt and Ma's picks was diabolical. I'm not even going to tell y'all what they picked. If you go back, if you haven't, and you're watching us right now on the KnoItallz channel, make sure you go back and watch the Level Up podcast on Monday because it was diabolical. And I was like, man, I wish the ladies was here because they would give them the business. They'd be like, what the hell are y'all talking about? For real. But anyway, we got our slate of games. We're going to review some of the games that we did early on the Level Up college football podcast on Monday. And we got our 2 sneaky games that you might have to pay attention to this week. So we're going to start with week 1, game 1, BYU versus Texas Tech. Sarah, I'm going to start with you. What do you like and dislike about this game? And when you get to the end with your comment, make sure you put your pick in, right? And then, Teresa, I'll go to you and you do the same thing. So, Sarah, I'm going to start with you. BYU and Texas Tech.
There's not much to dislike about this game. I think it's going to be probably the most exciting game of the weekend. I think it's the most interesting. I think it is pretty much a preview of at least one, possibly both teams are going to be in the Big 12 championship game. I love both of these teams. Texas Tech had that one loss, and that was really, really gut-wrenching and everything like that. But when I went back and looked at that, this is what I found kind of interesting is Morton, when Morton starts and finishes the game, they are undefeated. It's only whenever Hammond is taken over. They've won 8 games by over 20 points. Their offense is number 5. They're third in scoring, like I said. And they have those two really good running backs. And when Dickey's not having a good game, Williams seems to be stepping up. But, Dickey's their number 1 back, and their secondary back is doing really, really well. But then their defense is also extremely, extremely strong, which is something that is very, very uncommon when it came to Texas Tech for so long. And it usually is very uncommon for the Big 12, other than possibly Utah, who has always had. They've never allowed a 100-yard rusher, and they've only had about 13.2 points as their average, and about 271 yards was average for so far the defense. Now, BYU, I like that quarterback. I think that this is the fact that they got rid of their quarterback that they had last year. I know that there was some controversy behind him, and that's why. But I think that was actually one of their smarter decisions, because now they have a freshman. They're going to get a good at least 3 years, possibly 4 out of this kid. And this BYU is going to stay in the conversation every single year. And I really, really, really love their running back. Now, if they can get Martin a decent amount of carries, I don't know if he's going to hit 100 yards because of this Texas Tech team. But I think that he's definitely going to put up some points. So the only weakness that they do have is they have a good defense. They don't have a great defense. They still are allowing some points, and Texas Tech is going to put up the points. So truly, I think that this is going to be a well-fought game. I think it's going to be highly entertaining. I listen to my favorite podcast is SVP Pod with Stanford Steve and Scott Van Pelt, who are just amazing. But I love
Stanford Steve, boy. I love Stanford Steve.
Yeah. So they say Lubbock is just absolutely insane. They say going down there is absolutely nuts. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like. I think the fans in Texas Tech are so excited to have a team again like this. They haven't had it since Mahomes, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that it's going to be close, but I think Texas Tech is going to pull this off because they really they're proving something this year about everything that they've done since the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Hollow tortillas. You're saying hollow tortillas going to be flying everywhere, because that's what they do. For y'all that watch us on the Level Up podcast, if you've never seen it before, they hollow out the middle of tortillas and they sling them at kickoff. And then they say if there's any 3 other times, they got to stop the game because tortillas hits the field. It's an automatic 15-yard penalty. I don't think that the Texas Tech fans even really give a damn. They sling them bad babies all game long. They don't care. But I agree, man. I flat out agree. And I think that there was a lot of facts that you pointed out. Sharice, so wait a minute. Sarah, you said, what's your score and who you picking?
Oh, sorry. I said at Texas Tech, but I'm going to go with probably about 34-27 for Texas Tech.
Okay. Teresa, who you like? Who you think's going to do their thing down there in Lubbock, Texas?
So I agree. Defense wins the game. And I think that when you look at Bailey and you look at Rodriguez, the linebackers, their tackles are impressive. So I think that is going to be definitely what's going to impact this thing. I think that you're going to have if you're going to show up and they show up, it's like you don't want this on game day. So this is the kind of if they come up showing up like that, I think that they're going to run the show. I do feel like BYU's running back is definitely good. He's no joke. He's rushing like 789 yards for the season. So I think that's good. So if he's on, he'll be on. But I really do feel like defense wins the game. And just with everything that Sarah said, yes, I'm going with Texas Tech. And I am going 24-10. I think it's going to be a fight. I think this is going to be a fight. That's why I'm scoring a little bit lower, because I think it's going to be a fight back and forth. I agree with both of you guys. Great facts and great information. And I will say this. I believe that the loser of this game is eliminated from the college football playoff. I don't think that there's a possibility, regardless, because I don't think they're going to run it back in the Big 12 championship game. But I think the loser of this game is eliminated. So who's got the pressure?
even though Texas Tech is home, even though, like you said, they got Rodriguez and all these other great players because they paid $22 million for a roster. So, hell, you should be contending for something. But the pressure's on them. The pressure's on Texas Tech, right?
100%.
Is that $22 million going to pay off? And there's something about BYU. When they play in pressure-packed games, they play outstanding. And that freshman quarterback is as cool as a cucumber. I mean, I'm telling you straight up. Bear Brockemeyer, and I love his name. I think he's got maybe the best college football name in all football. Bear Brockemeyer, he should be a middle linebacker for Ohio State. I mean, what are you talking about? But he's a quarterback. He's a quarterback, and he's got a running game, and you guys know as well, running game and defense translates on the road. LJ Martin, yeah, he's a dog. They like got 800 yards rushing, 792 or something like that. So I think that this game will be decided by not the mistakes, but the adjustments that's made at halftime. I trust BYU's coach more than I trust Texas Tech's coach.
Okay.
Give me BYU in the upset. BYU wins this game 31-28.
Okay.
Give me the Cougars, man. And I'm believing them. And I think BYU is a college football playoff team. I really do believe it. I think legitimate college football playoff team. But who knows? I might be wrong. I might be wrong. All right, so we got the next game, which, in my opinion, is going to eliminate one of them great pretenders that's over in the SEC. You got Texas A&M going to Missouri. Now, I will set this up. Missouri is now on their third-string quarterback. They've already lost their second-string quarterback to transfer from Penn State. So they're on and he's a true freshman, right? So now here comes this super powerful A&M squad into the building, ranked third in the current college football playoff. They got a dog quarterback at King, and they got some defense. So I'm saying, Theresa, is there a chance in hell that Missouri can actually pull the upset and beat Texas A&M?
No. When you look
wow.
when you look at teams, I think that there's the different tiers, and I just feel like Texas A&M is going to just dominate. I think they're just going to dominate across the board. I think that their quarterback is in his passing yards are so impressive. I think Missouri, he has some the defense is impressive, and they might show up. So it might be a close game, but I think that Texas A&M is going to pull it off. I think they're just too strong of a team.
What's your score and what you like for this game?
I am going 34-32.
Oh, that's close. That's close. All right, Sarah, who you got this week? Texas A&M and Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way this Missouri team started off the season after they lost their first-string quarterback. I thought Perbula was playing really, really well. I really like their coach. I think it is a really great program. But this kid is not going to be ready, and Texas A&M is going to put a ton of pressure on him. I just think that, I have so many notes on A&M. That team is quite impressive right now. And I think that what Elko has been able to do in 2 years is extremely interesting to watch because, they were falling apart before he took over that program.
Yeah,
so
post Jimbo.
$70 million to get rid of a coach, which, God, I would never understand that till the end of time. I just really, really like the way this team is playing. The only thing is that their biggest weakness, which I thought was very, very interesting, is that they do not have a very good red zone defense. So if Missouri can get into that red zone, they might possibly get a couple scores in. They have Hardy, who didn't have a great game last time they played against Vandy, which was, I think, probably what was their final nail in the coffin after losing for Bola. Yeah. But they still have this Roberts kid that's been really playing well. But you look at that A&M offense with Reed being able to throw and run. You have – I love that Concepcion kid, the wide receiver.
He always wears the funny color shoes. They're they're maroon, and he's got on blue shoes and orange shoes and yellow shoes. I'm like, what the hell? You wearing highlighters on your feet?
An impressive catch in every single game. I just think he's extremely entertaining. So I think that defense is going to really put a lot of pressure on that true freshman quarterback. So I don't see it being as close as Teresa. I think it'll be close just because of the fact it's in Missouri and it's an SEC game. Those types of games always get close, but I'm going with 27 to, let's say, 13.
Oh, okay.
Texas,
Okay.
A&M.
I mean, I get it. I get that. And I understand why, because Matt Zollers has not really ever started a game. True freshman quarterback. But I'm going to tell you something. Y'all might not know. I've watched film on him. The kid's a gunslinger. If I'm going to tell you from a strategic standpoint, if I'm Missouri, I go 4-by-1. We're going 4 receivers, 1 running back in the backfield. I'm going outside the hashes, and I'm just going to let him throw the ball all over the place. And if he gets hot, he gets hot, because there's nothing that they have to lose.
Exactly.
Missouri has nothing to lose at this point. They're really not in contention to win the SEC. And they're in position to where I'm going to F around and find out and see if I got a dog and a quarterback. And I'm telling you, he's a slinger now. He can throw that football. I'm telling y'all he can. And y'all see in the game, y'all be like, whoa, why is this kid been on the bench? Well, he's a true freshman. And the coach, their head coach, doesn't believe in playing freshmen like that. So now he's forced into action. If the game plan is not conservative from Missouri, the game will remain close, because Missouri's top 10 statistically in every category from a defensive standpoint. Missouri's actually, in my opinion, probably 1 or 1A defense in the SEC. Realistically, they're 1 or 1A. They're top 10 in every category. So I think this game's going to be close. Teresa, I agree with you. But I think at the end, King is just too much. Marcel, he's too much. King is legitimately should be viewed as a Heisman Trophy candidate. He really should. So I'm going to take – go ahead, Teresa. Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead.
He's my dark horse Heisman. But when you're talking about this A&M and this freshman –
I said King. I meant Reed. Yeah.
Reed.
I wrote this in and I didn't talk this in, but they're number 1 in sacks. If they can, like that, Howe and what's the other kid's name? Howe and Hayes.
Yep.
These boys are putting a ton of pressure and they have so much speed. So I mean, good try. Have a great game. Have so much fun. I think that's the biggest thing. Have so much fun. You're not really playing for anything, but I just had to mention that because I was in my head, and I was really proud of that.
I'm telling you, you're right. You're absolutely correct. I think, Teresa, I'm just telling you, I just think it's going to be close.
I think it's going to be close.
I would say, I'll say final score 31-28.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a burner, man. And I'm telling you, don't be shocked if that freshman catches lightning in a bottle. I'm telling y'all, he's a dotter. This kid can throw the ball he can make every freaking throw as a freshman. He can, every throw that's available, he can do it. He's a dotter. So we're going to find out real fast if he can play. But at the end, Texas A&M's just too good. And they got to get ready for a big game they got at the end of the season. So
exactly.
Give me A&M.
They do.
Okay.
All right, now I got to bring up the diabolical one, Tim Lyons, the Matrix camp champion and veteran. He's got an issue with me because I told him that Notre Dame struggles with the service academies. They do. The game. Look, she got the Navy sweatshirt on. Listen,
All right.
I'm not saying that Notre Dame loses to those service academies, but those games, Notre Dame gets beat up. It wasn't until Marcus Freeman took over the helm as the head coach of Notre Dame that those games wouldn't be close all the way to the fourth quarter. And they're hard to prepare for because they run exotic offenses. The offenses that, like, you can't prepare all year. You got to wait till the week of and try to prepare for it because they run crazy stuff. So I want to start this off with Sarah. Navy versus Notre Dame. What you thinking? And let Tim Lyons know really what time it is for this game, please. Could you please do that for me? I appreciate it.
I mean, my heart and soul will always be Navy. I come through a bloodline of Navy boys, everybody. So it's every year. I'm Navy all the way for any service academy game. It's my team. I rooted for them last year, and I picked them last year to beat Notre Dame because they were on this huge winning streak, and Horvath is amazing, and boy can run. He has, what did I say? He has 926 yards in just rushing, which is absolutely bonkers, and 13 touchdowns. He is I love him. I just think that he is so good. But last year, when they played Notre Dame, they had 6 turnovers and allowed 400 plus yards.
Facts.
Now, I think that they both kind of let up their games last week. So I don't know if they were just super or not. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I can't remember because my timeline is all screwed up because of last week with Halloween and everything. But, Navy lost that game against North Texas, and that was bad. But North Texas is a lot more impressive than I think a lot of people are giving.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Notre Dame, yes, they beat Boston College, but you only scored 25 points on a 1-8 team that has nothing. They are doing nothing this year. Last year, they at least impressed you in the beginning of the season. Boston College is absolutely awful this year. So the fact that they only put up that many points made me a little bit a little scared for them. But I think this is going to be a good game. They're always a good game. I can't go against Tim Lyons this season because Notre Dame is just every week they just seem to be able to pull it off ever since the beginning of the season. Carr is doing amazing. He has 72% completion percentage. This kid literally none of us knew until this year. And then you have Love. Now, this last game, he had 136 yards, but 94 of that was in one run. So they need to be getting him more breakaways. He has to be able to get more time and carries with that ball because that means that he wasn't getting the ball as much as he probably should have. But they do have that other kid who I do like with the price, who's actually quite versatile with the 521 yards. He has 8 touchdowns. He has 1 passing touchdown and then the 2 kickoff returns. If he can do at least 1 kickoff return for a touchdown, I think that's going to set the tone for the whole game. I think that if they get a huge lead, it's going to set a tone for the game. They're on a winning streak. Navy's coming off a bad loss. My heart will always be Navy, but I'm going with Notre Dame. I think it'll be a little bit closer this year than last year, which was like 46-10 or something.
Yeah,
which it was so bad.
Yeah, fact.
But I'm going to go with 35-24. But Notre Dame.
Yeah, like it. Teresa, what you got this weekend? Who are you picking? The Service Academy or the Fighting Irish?
So I like the Navy. One of my best friends, he was in the Navy, so I do like the Navy, period. But I think that when you have Carr and Love, they're just going to dominate. I will say that the Navy's defense is impressive. So if they can shut them down, that would be awesome. But I just don't feel like they're going to be able to handle Notre Dame and where they're at right now. So I did go for Notre Dame, and I'm going 42-24.
Ooh, that's blowout city. That's BTA. That's diabolical. Now, listen, I want to say this, and I mean this. I'm not hating on Notre Dame when I make this statement. But they're literally, I'm not. Sarah, I'm not. But literally, they're on the cusp of not making the college football playoff.
They are.
Any loss, it's over. You're not getting in, right? And I think there's a lot of people outside of the Notre Dame fans that want Notre Dame to lose. Because, truth be told, they're trying to figure out a way to get 5 SEC teams into the playoff, and they're trying to figure out how to get 4 Big Ten teams in the playoff. They're trying to figure it out. So if they got to take 2 other conference champions and a power, Notre Dame ruins the party. So there's a lot of people that's going to be pulling against Notre Dame for the remainder of the season just because they don't want them in the playoff. Now, I'm not one of them diabolical haters. I think that Marcus Freeman is an outstanding coach.
I
really do. Yeah, I think he's outstanding. I think that, and I'm gonna say this too. Marcus Freeman would be a great coach at Penn State, or LSU. I'll leave that alone. Marcus Freeman would be great at Penn State or LSU. With their resources, yeah. But Love is a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. It's been a long time since we've had a running back that actually has an opportunity to get the Heisman. That people thought Ashton Genty would. I was like, it's not even a race. They gave it to a 4-loss Colorado Buffalo. I mean, because it wasn't going to be a running back to get that award. But I think he does. I think Love has a big game this week. And I'm telling y'all, if he busts 200, Yeah, he's at the catbird seat with some of them other dudes. Julian Sands, some other guy. He bust 200 yards. Yeah, against the Service Academy. So I think Notre Dame knows that their season's on the line every time they run on the field. Give me Notre Dame to blow them out.
Yep.
42-21.
Okay.
Blowout Notre Dame. 42-21. Blowout. So and realistically, I think that's fair for me to apply. The BTA moment of the week might be Notre Dame versus Navy. So let me get that queued up so that way people understand and know that this week's beatdown is coming to Navy. Bye-bye.
Boy, your mama told me you was disrespecting her, okay? So pick one. Either way it go, this ends with you getting a whooping.
Beatdown. Beatdown. Right? All right, so now we got game 4. Game 4. You know what? I'm going to start this one.
Okay.
I never ever start. I always let y'all go, but I'm going to start this one. Y'all, this is an upset special.
Oh, you think so?
This is an upset. I'm telling you.
Really?
I'm telling you, I looked at all the numbers. I ran the analytics on it. Iowa can beat Oregon. Iowa can beat Oregon. I'm telling you right now, I'll let y'all talk about it, but listen. Kinnick Stadium is not to be played with. And for all of those people out there, especially you SEC lovers, right? And to think that Iowa wouldn't go down in the SEC and cause problems, you are highly mistaken. Iowa is a very good football team. You just don't know about them. They're actually ranked higher in the standings than Michigan is. Mm-hmm. They're damn near ranked higher than USC. Mm-hmm. They're ranked higher than Washington. But when you saw that AP poll, you see Iowa said nowhere. You get that real college football playoff poll, and the committee respects Iowa because they know how good they are. Okay. So Teresa, I'm going to go with you. Oregon Ducks. And, oh, by the way, Teresa, the weather's going to suck tomorrow in Iowa. We're talking about snow flurries, ice, rain, all that high-flying duck quacker stuff. Okay. Now who you got between Iowa and Oregon?
You're not gonna give us your pick and your numbers?
Now, I'm gonna tell it at the end, but okay. I just set it up so that way the people can see, because I'm telling you, this got upset written all over it.
Well, I don't see the upset. So I'm going with Oregon. I think that their quarterback brings serious fire. I think that their quarterback is just overwhelmingly impressive compared to Iowa. I think that this match up to me is like a non-factor. So I don't really see the upset personally. And I scored it 34-24. Because I just favor Oregon. I think Oregon has something to prove. And so I think they're going to be ready to play, because at this point, just looking at their season, they have to stay on their game, period. So I think that they're going to come to play and they're going to be serious about this game.
I feel it. So 34-24 Quackers.
Yep.
All right. Sarah, who you got?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I saw that weather report today, and I was like, ooh, that is going to get interesting. Oregon is playing for their life right now. That is going to be exactly what they are. I was extremely surprised at how low they got ranked. Actually, I probably am not that surprised. But, I mean, if they lose this game, they're out. Like, there's no way they're getting ranked into the playoffs. So they're pretty much playing for their lives. But I feel like Iowa sometimes likes to, ruin everyone's day.
That's true.
This year, they are definitely playing a lot better than they have been in the past couple of years. And their defense is still extremely, extremely strong. And it's mostly all running game. But the thing that this is stupid, old school things that things that happened in the past, but they're 4-1 in the Big Ten right now.
Facts.
For the first time in 10 years.
Facts.
That hasn't happened in so long. I was shocked. I mean, Iowa's always been it used to be Iowa and Wisconsin on the one side, and then, and then Wisconsin is now just flown off of the coop. But
yeah, and their coach got a vote of confidence from the AD today, talking about he's going to be there next year. Man, I don't know about all that. We'll see.
So I think that Iowa's defense, if they can really put a lot of pressure on this Oregon offense, I think that they're going to keep it close. I would like to see an upset. I just think that would be entertaining. I love good upsets. I like Iowa. I always have. I like their coach. I mean, it's just a cool little team. They got the black and gold. That's always, put a little soft spot in my heart. But, I mean, if Moore has a really good game, and their defense on Oregon is not – they're actually quite legit this year. They have a linebacker and a defensive end right now. And I don't want to try to say their last names because
it's DJ Uilue's little brother. They play quarterback in the class. Uilue's little brother.
And then Tiatu.
Yeah.
That's their linebacker. Between the two of them and the fact that the only game that they've really struggled with was Indiana, who has the best offense right now in the game. So I think that it's going to be close. I think that Oregon is going to pull it off. But I definitely see it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be super close. I just think that because with this rain and everything else, it's going to get a little gritty. So I went with 21-17, and I'm going with Oregon.
Y'all, listen first. First of all, let me say this. Oregon struggled against Minnesota last week and only put up 28 points. You know how Minnesota was able to do that? They stopped all that high-flying mess. Because where Oregon really struggles at is they don't have a primetime running back.
That's true.
They have 3 running backs. One of them's a freshman, that Hill kid, right? They got 3 running backs. But they don't have – Oregon usually is very good when they have a primetime running back. I don't know if they got one. Now, they're saying tomorrow the high is 44, but the low is 25. So it's going to get dark at Kinnick Stadium. Based on the kickoff, it's going to get dark quick, right? And when it gets dark and that temperature changes and that ice and that snow and that cold starts pouring in there, are the Quackers ready for it? I mean, I know they play in the Pacific Northwest, but there's something different about that Midwest cold. And it's going to be the first time they experience it this year.
True.
Y'all, something in my heart is telling me, man, because they want 5 SEC teams in so bad. Here comes the diabolical mess. Give me the Hawkeyes. In the upset, 27-21, Iowa beats Oregon and throws the whole college football rankings in a frenzy. I like Iowa. I don't think they got an explosive offense. I don't think they got an explosive defense. But they're good at Kinnick Stadium in a nasty, funky, icy, filthy, rainy, snowy game. And that's exactly what we're going to get. Give me the Hawkeyes, man. Big Ten, old school Big Ten ball. Old school Big Ten ball. Give me them Hawkeyes. All right, y'all. We got one game from our Power 5. Maybe an upset special, too. Maybe an upset special. Because I'm telling y'all, all y'all SEC-loving people out there, Georgia's Fugazi. They're not real. Listen, Brock Bowers ain't walking through that locker room. Darnell Washington ain't walking in there. George Pickens ain't walking out there. They ain't got none of those type dudes over there on Georgia's team right now. And there's the quarterback, get him out of here. So, Sarah, I'm going to start with you. Who you like this week, and what's your score concerning Georgia and Mississippi State?
Yeah, I think that Mississippi State, I think that they definitely have grown in the past year, coming from having not one win against the SEC last year and actually pulling off some wins this year, and they can actually make it to a bowl. They're one game away from making it to a bowl. So I think that they definitely have a lot riding just because of the fact that they really they're extremely impressive and they're getting a lot more respect right now. And Georgia has allowed everybody to stay super, super close in games. They are the old school second half, fourth quarter team right now. Now, I disagree on one thing. I like Gunner. I think Gunner is extremely solid in the end. He doesn't make a lot of the dumb mistakes. They had a lot of dumb mistakes from Beck last year, which
Facts.
Because he also he couldn't play if he didn't have anybody good to throw with, because the year before he had McConkey and Bowers, and then last year he didn't have those star receivers and tight end, and he blew it up. And look at what he's doing this year. He doesn't, So I think that they're going to it's going to be a close game. I think they're going to put together a really good game. Mississippi State, I mean, they've played Texas and Tennessee into overtime.
Should have won both of them. Should have won both of them.
I know. And that's where I'm like kind of a little weary because they should have won both of them and they didn't win both of them. And they are one of the highest penalized teams. And they're only like that's their weakness. They're just making mistakes at times when they cannot make those mistakes. And Georgia isn't right now. They're actually one of the lower penalized teams. Like they're nothing like the old school Georgia, which is a little disappointing because I always like that grittiness and, Kirby Smart screaming aggression 20 million times a day.
And Sarah, you know they cheated for Georgia already this year against Auburn, right? You know they cheated. Yeah, the white boy called time out.
Bye-bye Hugh Freeze after.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on now.
So I think it's going to be close. I wish I would say call the upset special. I won't be surprised, I think is the best way to say it. But I don't know if I can pick against. I mean, I say it every week. It's so hard for me to pick against him because I just like Kirby too much. I mean, the past few years he's lost to Bama and I picked him both times. I have a weakness for him. I don't know what's my weird issue with him and his visor. But I'm going to go with close. I'm going to go with it's going to be low. I think it's going to probably be about 21 to probably 21-17. I'm going to go with, and I think it's going to end on either like a last minute play, last minute touchdown. Even somehow if there's a field goal in there, and it might go into overtime. I would not be surprised if it ends up in overtime. Yeah,
I get it. I get it. Teresa, who you got this week? The Bulldogs, the Fugazi Bulldogs. Versus the real Bulldogs, the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
I've always liked Georgia. I like the program. I'm just impressed with them every year. But I put as a note that Georgia has to bring their A game. Like this is not one of them games you got to sleep on. I think that if the defense doesn't show up, that they're going to lose this. This is what I feel. I feel like because when you compare the two quarterbacks, when you look at Blake, he's had 15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Facts.
Compared to Stockton, who's had 12 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So he has to be on point. He has to hit his target every time. And I think that if he does not, this is going to be an upset. But I feel like, this is going to be a battle back and forth. I do feel like it's a little bit of a higher scoring game. I'm gonna say that it's going to be 35-32.
But you're picking Georgia.
I'm picking Georgia.
I feel y'all. So I'm going to say this. I've watched Mississippi State's last 4 games. I've watched all 4 of them from the beginning to the end, right? Mississippi State has beat themselves. They beat themselves. They have critical turnovers. And in 2 of those 4 games, they had a 12-point lead or more in the 4th freaking quarter and lost.
Yep.
And lost. Listen, if Blake Shelton can hold on to the freaking football, because he forces it sometimes, and really what they have are yak wide receivers and Thompson and the other guy that plays. They force it, right? And if he just can get it to the yak guys, allow them to do it, and don't have a critical turnover, and Mississippi State can run the football too. And they're tough up front, boy. Offensive and defensive lines, Mississippi State is a top 5 offensive and defensive line in the SEC. So they got a lot of pieces down there, man, and they've hurt themselves. I've been saying 3 weeks in a row that Mississippi State was going to pull the upset. I thought they was going to pop Tennessee. They was going to pop Texas. They going to pop Georgia.
Okay.
Give me the Mississippi State Bulldogs for the win. And get the Fugazis out of here. Get Georgia out of that top 10 ranking. They don't deserve to be there. They're a middle of the pack, average SEC football team. Give me the Mississippi State Bulldogs with the big win, 35-28. Come on,
I kind of agree with you because, like Georgia was it the last game when they was losing the whole game and then they came back in the 4th quarter. So I see it. It could be upset, but I'm still gonna go with Georgia. But I can see the upset coming.
Yeah, get them. I'm telling y'all, and you know what? They can accuse me of being biased. I don't even care. The bottom line is that there's a lot of good teams, not great teams in the SEC, and there's some good teams that's not great teams in the Big Ten. And they snuck in the inaugural college football playoff ranking, there's no way in hell Tennessee should have been ranked 25. So that would have meant you would have had even amount of teams from the Big Ten and the SEC in the college football playoff rankings. But it's the diabolical bias. And I'm going to stay on that forever until they start to change it. And I think after this year, when we get a third national championship in the Big Ten, then there's going to be some respect. Forget ABC and all that diabolicalness. That's why you ain't got no YouTube channel right now, Sarah, because it's because of them. The SEC and the ABC diabolicalness.
I know.
All right, we got 2 hedge games. Now, the first game, we're going to label it the Fire Bowl. The Fired Bowl. It's hard to talk about this game, and traditionally, this has always been one of the best games of college football every year. But I'm telling y'all right now, the loser of this game's coach is getting fired. We got Clemson playing the Florida State Seminoles. Dabo Swinney, Mike Norvell, one of y'all is getting your key card took from you. One of y'all is going to have black garbage bags sitting on your desk, and one of y'all going to have to come in and clean your desk out at about 4:30 in the morning when the press ain't there. And it's going to start after this week. So, Teresa, Florida State, Clemson, you said it was going to be hard to talk about, but it's the Fire Bowl.
Because I don't care about this game.
Facts.
I think he needs to pack his bags. I think that they're so inconsistent this year that I don't think that they're going to pull it off. And so you're right. Either one of them, I don't really feel like it's going to be a great game. But I think I'm going to pick Florida. I think they have the slight edge. And I'm going to say it's going to be a kind of a high scoring game. I think it's going to be like 42-34. I think it's going to be a battle.
So the Seminoles pull up. The Seminoles send Dabo packing.
Yes, I believe so.
You know what I would love? To
What
see
is that?
Dabo Swinney get hired at Penn State. That means we're going to be diabolical forever.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
never going to beat the
not like
Buckeyes.
him.
Never, ever. Yep.
I don't think he's a player's coach. He is all about wins, and it kind of is irritating to see that he's not, into his players like that. That's why I feel like he can't win. If I don't feel like, energy is energy, as I say in therapy. Energy is energy. If you don't give me good energy, why I'm going to give you good energy? And so I don't think that, even though they're playing and they're playing well, I don't feel like they're playing like I'm ready for the kill. It's like, okay, I'm playing kind of thing. So that's why I'm picking Florida State for the win.
Got you. Sarah, Kay Klubnik was supposed to win the Heisman Trophy. I'm just saying, remember when we talked about it, the preview, we talked about our top 5? Kay Klubnik was supposed to win the Heisman Trophy, Sarah. What the hell is going on in Clemson, South Carolina, Sarah?
I really wish I knew. See, now I don't think that if they lose this game, I weirdly just don't see Clemson actually pulling the trigger, at least not until the end of the season. I think if FSU loses this game, they're going to definitely pull the trigger on Norvell. I think just after last season being extremely disappointing, and then this season starting off on such a high note and then just continuously kind of lowering. I mean, you still need 2 more games to actually make it into a bowl game. Their schedule isn't super, super hard past this game. They do have NC State, which is a little bit on the sneaky side after what their big win is. And they have a better offense right now. And that's literally the only thing I can say about the 2 teams truly, because you can't even get like they're middle of the road. They're like 45th ranked here, 54th ranked here, 60th ranked here, and then something high. FSU though, still the number 1 offense total, which is just absolutely mind-blowing because they are getting an average of 510 yards a game. They are getting 7.1 yards a play, and they are number 7 in scoring. So you can't – Clemson doesn't have enough of a defense right now to play against that. And Clemson's turnover ratio is at a -5 this year. Clemson is not playing well. No one is holding on to that ball. No, nothing is going well for either of these teams. And I think that FSU is just trying to play towards at least a bowl so Norvell can keep his job. And I'll be intrigued to see what Clemson does. So I'm going with Florida State. I think they're going to actually beat some ass on this one. I think it's going to be oh yeah. I just can't see Clemson really doing it. I've lost so much respect for that team, and I'm so upset with the fact that at the beginning of the season listening to all of those voices telling you that was going to be the team and he was going to have this resurrection. And I've never liked him. He's definitely not a player's coach. I definitely agree with you, Teresa. So I'm going with probably about 35 to about, I don't know, let's say 35 to 10. Florida State.
That deserves this one for real.
Boy, your mama told me you was disrespecting her, okay? So pick one. Either way it go, this ends with you getting a whooping.
But Dabo about to get a beat down. I'm with both of y'all. I think Florida State beats the living hell out of them. Give me the Seminoles and Dabo get to packing. Seminoles win this game 35-21. Dabo, it's time for you to go, dog. It's time for you to go. Let's move on. And now, we got a team that don't have a coach, don't have an athletic director, and it's become political and down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The governor trying to hire the guy and what?
But he's not a committee.
Yeah, get that big trash mess out of there. Right. I thought I would not see a larger catastrophic issue than we saw up in Happy Valley. But this LSU thing is unbelievable. Right. And then traditionally, every year, regardless of what the records or whatever, LSU and Alabama get it on. Right. They get it on. The LSU and Alabama, for you guys that don't know, is always a great football game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
But I mean, who the hell? I don't even know. I mean, now with the other guy that we thought was going to win the Heisman Trophy, Nussmeier, is he going to actually show up now that the diabolical one, Kelly, is out of the room? Because we know he's the problem. Mm-hmm. So LSU gets Bama. LSU got pieces. They got the two twins. They got the Perkins boy. They got some pieces. Nussmeier, I don't know though, y'all. Bama versus LSU. Sarah, what you got?
Yeah, no, I agree. And if you want to talk about a coach that was not a player's coach, and man, when I read this, I've never seen something that has made me so angry about a college team and a college coach. Brian Kelly never allowed alumni to come and visit his teams.
Never.
You know, I hate Brian Kelly.
4 years.
Yeah.
4 years. Yeah. Never. And you're talking about some of the best players that are in the NFL right now who bleed purple, like bleed it. Like that is, they are so proud of the fact that they are LSU alum. And the fact that he wouldn't even allow them to come around, just absolutely, it disgusts me to read that. I am so glad that he's gone. Could not be happier. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden this is that team that's going to win because they want to look at him and be like, haha, you're the reason why we stunk so bad. And
I feel it.
The twins are both back. Both Whit Weeks is back this week. So they definitely have that. And they cut this little freshman running back that they got going on, this Berry kid who's had averaging 5.8 yards in the last 2 games. So we're going to see how they do. It's going to be an offensive line, defensive line type of game, I feel like, because that's where the strength in LSU is, and that's where the strength in Bama is. Those are definitely going to be where it is, and those are always fun battles to watch. So I don't know. It's like too much, like it's insane. It's just insane the fact that LSU has fallen to this point, and you can't even think that possibly they could win other than the fact that they fired their coach and now they just want to prove the fact that they actually have some talent. But Bama's playing because they want to make it into the playoffs. They are one of the better teams in the SEC this year. They have proven the fact that every single year when they have that one bad loss, that you got to stop talking about it. You got to stop thinking that it's the end of the world. Just because you came off of one of the greatest coaches in college football does not mean that every loss is the end of the world. They have beat 4 ranked teams. They're 3-0 in 1-score games. I think LSU is going to keep it close. I think that they're going to put up, they just want to, I think they're going to go out there and just play their heart into that game because you have a lot of talent with that defense, especially. And maybe Nussmeier will decide that he knows how to play football again. So I think it's going to be close. I haven't picked an upset this week, but I won't be surprised by some of them. So I'm going with Bama. I think it's going to be 28-21, but I think it's going to be entertaining. Like you said, no matter what, those are some great fans on both sides.
Facts.
Some great programs. It'll be still on that same level, but LSU has just, they need a whole new rebuild. A lot of these guys are graduating. So we'll see what they can do in this next year.
Shoot, either graduate or portal bound.
Portal or
portal bound
NFL or they're older.
I listen. I think that LSU is coming apart at the seams, and this is the actual game where they can save it. But before I get to my stuff, Teresa, what you think LSU and Alabama?
I agree. Even when you think about the psychological aspect of, a coach leaving, yes, are their minds focused on, okay, yes, we want to show Brian Kelly that he wasn't good, or, we weren't playing for him, or is it that, psychologically I have this new coach that, is trying to show me, and I got to figure out whether I, where I'm playing, what I'm doing, even if I have the heart into it anymore. I think psychologically that's what is going to cause either LSU to win or lose the game. So I think the psyche is really important as you look at it. I think that Alabama's quarterback, Simpson, I think that he is so powerful with the passing attack. I think that with his wide receiver, Bernard, he poses a threat downfield. So I feel like this is going to be a close game. But I think that Alabama should control the game, personally. And I think the score is going to be 24-10.
I like it. I like the score. I like both of you all scores and both of y'all picks. Listen, Ty Simpson is trying to get the Heisman Trophy. Their offensive tackle, Jaden Proctor. Listen, I know this is a college playoff show, but my heart lives and dwells in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? And listen, we need to do everything we can to get Jaden Proctor, man. Yeah, I see you, Sarah. It's about them Steelers, but Jaden Proctor is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal offensive tackle. They got Ryan Williams. They got some defensive pieces too. Man, I just know this is the game that LSU season's right here. Like all is well if they pop Bama with Brian Kelly not being the coach. And all is well. Like this is the game that they can circle the wagons. I want to pick LSU so bad, but I just can't because I don't know if they have the coach that can make the adjustment in the fourth quarter. Because that's how the game's going to get won. There's going to be a fourth quarter adjustment that's going to change this game around. And I don't know if LSU's interim coach can actually do it. But I think this game's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. Give me Alabama 28, LSU 24. Okay. I think this game's going to be close. And I would not be shocked if the LSU Tigers walk out of there with a W. I would not be shocked. All right, ladies, we come to the end of the Level Up, Get Your Game Day On College Football Saturday Playoff Show. Y'all, any final thoughts before we get off the show? Teresa, I'm going to start with you.
I'm just excited about just watching these football games this Sunday. We didn't talk about Ohio State and playing Purdue, but, that should be a blowout, hopefully.
We'll see City. Smoke show. Smoke show.
It is what it is. I know that on Monday you talked a little bit about our resume and those kinds of things, and everybody's challenging Ohio State because of our resume. But I also think that if you are a team that can go to a national championship and use your third string quarterback, anything is possible. So we get better and better every week, and I think that as we press forward, yes, that it's not our fault that Texas wasn't good. No, it's not our fault that Penn State wasn't good, so I understand the resume does put us in a interesting placement, but we're still a team that you're gonna have to come and play, and I think that they're overall going to win it. Facts.
Got you. I could see it happening, and that's the question was, and we'll have that on the Level Up College Show on Monday. Are we going to see a 16-0 undefeated champion? That's going to be one of the questions concerning the show on Monday. So make sure you come and check us out on Monday. Sarah, your final thoughts before we get off the pod.
Yeah, there's a reason why no matter what, you can talk about their schedules or what, there's a reason why the top two teams in the country right now are Big Ten, because they're not even putting up a fight. And that's the thing. You can say whatever you want about a resume. They play the games that are in front of them, and it's not like they're keeping them close at any point in time. They're blowing every team out. So I dislike that argument every single year, because you can't sit here and tell me no one knew how bad Penn State was going to win this year. You scheduled it because I was excited. I was super excited for that this year, and ended up not being anything to be excited about. I mean, God, I was surprised that they let 2 touchdowns happen in the first half.
That part
was a little bit, nerve-wracking, but then, they came back and look at what they did. They proved themselves. And just like with Indiana, they prove themselves every single week. Mm-hmm. They might have a bad quarter, but they're not having a full bad half, and they're not having a full bad 60 minutes. So I can say all you want. I'm really hoping I can watch most of the games. I will be able to watch most of the games. I just won't be able to watch the ABC game and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm more upset that I can't watch game day because I love me some McAfee. I'm a Pittsburgh girl through and through, and that is just something that makes my heart happy to start my Saturday morning. So that is going to be the interesting part. Maybe he'll stream it on X again this week.
A abbreviation or interpretation from Sarah C. YouTube TV, you suck. Let's just say it like it is. So listen, thank you guys for rocking with us for another Getcha GameDay On Level Up College Football Podcast. If you're watching us right now, make sure that you like and subscribe. Leave a comment into the chat. I will be live with the chat during the whole stream of the show. So I'll be able to answer comments and questions. So you'll hear me the whole time saying, hey, look, I'm going to give y'all some feedback. And maybe you might see Sarah, maybe you might see Theresa sitting over there talking what we need to talk a little smack about college football on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. And make sure you come back on Sunday and catch the KnoItallz podcast. We are growing tremendously over at the KnoItallz. We got big time plans for big time shows. We picked up 20 to 30 subscribers weekly. So we are growing as a channel. And we wouldn't do that without you guys supporting all of our shows on the KnoItallz Podcast Channel. So if you're watching us in syndication, you're watching a pre-recorded show, make sure you go back and check out all the content on the KnoItallz Podcast Channel because we're doing the damn thing over there. Hey, listen, man. As for my co-host, Theresa-B, my girl, Sarah C., man, we appreciate all you guys rocking with us this week on another Level Up College Football Podcast. And you know I'm your boy, Big G. We'll see y'all Sunday live on the KnoItallz Podcast. Have a great weekend and get your game day on and have a great college football Saturday. We'll holla at y'all. Peace.